All right, folks, we got it right today. I'm so happy. Take my time, made it happen. Look here, folks. It's been a minute, y'all, since I got it right, but we got it right today. Dusty's already in the dugout. It's about to go down like 4 flat tires. We got to do it like this first. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve after dark to concerts in the park. Get live with Lonzo the Godfather, West Coast hip hop. This is how we do it. This is how it's done. Every Tuesday, me and Dusty, y'all, it's going down.
Yeah.
Dusty.
Lonzo, how you doing today, man?
And I'm living like a midget, but I'm growing every day.
That's what's up, Playboy.
What's happening?
Another player saying right there. Hey, I saw you post a couple of videos. Looked like you had a function for Hood Peace.
Yeah, man. Saturday, the city of Compton had a citywide cleanup sponsored by the mayor, Emma Sharif, and all the city council people. And I took my podcast unit out there, man, and I posted up some posters, took my banner out, just hung out with the folks, man, at Gonzalez Park. And a young man was riding on a horse. He just passed by. He said, man, he was sincere as heck. Man, we sure need that around here. I'm like, say what, young man? I said, what you say, Doc? Man, we need that right there. I said, when you cut off the horse, come back and see me. He did. Young dude, probably about, I don't know, man, maybe about 10 to 11 years old. And I just talked to him for a minute, man. He says, man, you know, we got all these people running around here with guns and got the police running through the neighborhood. And, you know, we don't need none of this right here. And it was really touching to see a young dude realize that we ain't going in the wrong direction. And a kid can see it. But the grown folks that's perpetrating all the bullshit, they think they doing something that's supposed to be going down. Now, here's the crazy part. My nephew was in town shooting a movie. He's working on a project, a Kendrick Lamar movie, something they doing on their own independent. And they were shooting in Gonzalez Park. And I roll over to holler at him, see how they were coming. They were shooting the scene. He says, Unc, as soon as you left, one of the OGs, hey, man, it's about to go down. Y'all might want to get out of here. And sure enough, he says a few minutes later, they came through shooting, man. So, you know, it's like that, dude. It's like that. Allegedly, a rapper out of Compton, another rapper I never heard of before, supposed to have gotten killed in Compton, man. So, you know, dude, man, nobody knows the real story. Nobody understands what's going on. Nobody knows why it's going on. It's just that, you know, this fucking civil war that we've been fighting for the past 50 years is worse than the fucking Hatfields and McCoys, man. And, you know, ain't no end. So my thing with Hood Peace is to put the thought, something on their minds other than bullshit. Maybe if more young men spoke to some of their big OGs, hey man, why y'all keep doing that? You know, but I realize going to church, the people that's praying for the people in church, they not in church, okay? The mamas is in church praying for the sons. The sons ain't coming to church. A lot of the OGs is doing the dirt, that support the dirt. They're not coming to church. So you got to put yourself in people's faces. And that's why the campaign is coming out of Compton first and foremost, so we can put the thought of Hood Peace in their faces. It's not only just about it's not about signs. It's about PSAs on the internet. It's about music. It's about poetry. It's about spoken word. It's about, man, I got a bunch of people working on various projects in regards to Hood Peace as we speak. So, you know, it's just something, man, I think that, you know, dude, ain't y'all about tired of this shit? I mean, you know, I look at the internet, man, I see all these guys, keep your head on the swivel, keep your gun, you know, keep your hand on your gun. Dude, why are we the only ones got to live like that, man? We the only ones got to do that shit. The hood is hot because they make it hot with that bullshit. All the cops going to do is come pick up the pieces. And in some cases, play one side against the other to get what they want. They ain't got to do no shooting. I ain't got to do nothing. All I do is drop you off in the wrong neighborhood at the right time. You ain't going to make it. That was a common practice back in the 80s. They would drop off, you know, essays in Blood territory and Bloods in SA territory and Blythe and First Crips. And, you know, sometimes cats get their ass whooped, but depending on who they ran across, some cats saw what was going on. And, man, go ahead, dude. We don't need no problems. So, you know, it's just, you know, it's like, the level of ignorance that keeps that game going is just beyond my comprehension, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. It's really sad, man. And something else that I heard today, and this wasn't even going to be on the topic, but I just read it before I hit log into the show. But apparently, a mother of 3 was shot just within the past couple of hours, killed in a car-to-car shooting off of Slauson and Western. Just senseless violence. Now 3 kids without a mom over some bullshit, dude.
Yeah, and they want to give everybody more guns. They got enough already. Shit. It's dude. Come on, man. I can't. I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound stupid, but I gotta say it. But it don't make no sense either. If they had some kind of boundaries to their stupidity, it would be a little bit different. But moms, kids, churches, schools, parks don't make no difference. If it's on site, there's no rules. There's no etiquette. There's no decorum when it comes to doing what they do, and everybody suffers. Even if you don't get hit by a bullet, the trauma that you experience seeing somebody laid out there, shaking, bleeding out, cops, getting held up, getting stuck in a spot for 4, 5, 6 hours while the cops take your name in the investigation, and you try, man, dude, come on, man. It's just too traumatic. And it's self-inflicted trauma that only we can stop.
Yep, that's it. Well, broken record, man. We'll keep pushing that message until you're tired of this record and you change LPs. But let's move on, man. There's a lot going on this week, especially in hip hop. I would love your point of view on. Looks like drill rappers are being removed from music festivals, including this past week where New York drill rappers 22 G's, Ron Suno, and Sha EK, which EK stands for Everybody Killer. Wouldn't understand why you wouldn't want him on your lineup. But they're removed from Rollin Loud, which is a huge festival, at the request of NYPD. It looks like all this violence on record is starting to affect these rappers' pocketbooks, Lonzo.
You know what, dude? And that's the only thing they're going to understand. Here in a system where money is king, whether it be politicians, whether it be rappers, whether it be corporations, when you start fucking with the money, they start rethinking their position. As long as they're getting paid, you're gonna get fucked. Okay, I'm gonna say like Charleston White would say, "Fuck them niggas, fuck them." Okay, they out there perpetrating death and supporting death, inciting death, and we supposed to pay you for that shit? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. I'm sorry. I see them. I got a new word. I got a new term. Call them new niggas. These new niggas. New niggas. Okay. These new niggas. They don't care about nothing. I'm gonna call them the whole thing. They new niggas. New niggas. They, it's not a bad word. It's my word. Y'all welcome to embrace it. These new niggas. They just think everything is cool all the time. These new niggas never got. They don't come from a background of discipline. They don't come from a background of love. They don't come from a background of anything that has any social redeeming factors. It's all about them getting paid, okay? Whatever is going to cause them to get a check or a deposit or whatever the case may be, they're willing to do it. They don't care. So the new niggas, they go out here and then they so unexperienced, they always put themselves in direct line of fire because the internet, the social media, give them gorilla balls, and they say shit they can't back up. And if they try to back it up, they usually catch a case. Then they want to start crying racism and everything else. No, dude. You put your target on you put that target on your back. Now that you got an arrow up your ass, you mad.
Thank you, B41, for the donation. Really appreciate it, man. Yeah. Shout out to the chat. Good looking out. Yeah, the mayor is also chiming in as well, Lonzo, the mayor of New York. It seems like he's tired of the madness too. Here's a short clip of the mayor talking about drill rap.
What drill rapping was, I called my son, and he sent me some videos, and it is alarming.
His son sent him some videos, and that's all it took for the New York mayor to pay attention to what's going on. And now he's cracking down on drill rap, dude.
Well, you know what, dude? And see, that's one of the problems we've experienced with the internet, because now there is no mainstream source of music or information. So there are various sources of information and music. So the new niggas can penetrate your children's eardrums with that negativity, and you're not tuned into it. You still maybe listen to Rihanna, Beyonce, Bruno Mars, whatever, but the new niggas got a whole nother low-level situation that a lot of kids are tuned into. They get into it, and these new niggas get to make their money. Meanwhile, they creating havoc and causing problems around the fucking country in every hood we know.
New niggas. Everyone loves the new niggas. That's getting a lot of love in the chat. We're gonna have to.
Y'all take that, man. Y'all run with that. Y'all, man. Leave these new niggas alone, man.
I feel like Lil Nutsack and Lil Butt Crack would be new niggas, right? Your characters.
All of them. They new niggas. Okay, they new niggas. They don't. They have no. These are ones that came play baseball. They got a trophy for showing up. Ain't hit the ball yet. Trophy. Don't know the bat from the ball. If they play football, these are ones that had to be on the team. They had to play. What we call them the must plays. They're the must plays. Okay, and they think the world owes them something because the world always gave them something. They didn't get the same kind of ass whoopers we got. They didn't get the same kind of discipline they got, so they think they can do what they want to in the world. Plus, a lot of them got introduced to various types of drugs. Some of them may have been Ritalin babies or Adderall babies, whatever the case may be, and they ain't got the same. Don't have the same structure, home structure that old school guys. So the new niggas think they can do whatever they want to, and they got a couple dollars. Now they really think they empowered. They got a couple dollars. Oh my God! Whatever I'm doing, I must be right. I'm getting paid for it. No, devil writes checks too, fool. Devil writes checks too.
Yep. Let's continue on with this story, Lonzo, of the drill rappers getting pulled from this Rollin Loud lineup. I want to explain to you in the audience what led up to this. And the article explained why they were removed. Allegedly, these groups have recently been affiliated with, quote, acts of violence citywide, according to a letter sent by the police chief at the department to festival organizers. The letter said that the NYPD believes that if these groups perform at Rollin Loud, that there will be a, quote, higher chance of violence. The festival organizers felt they had no choice but to comply. And here's my deal, Alonzo. This is kind of funny. I don't know, funny, but whatever. Some New York rappers are upset at this, claiming that their art is being targeted. What do you say to those rappers? What do you say to these artists who think they're being targeted?
When you are constantly promoting genocide, homicide, suicide, any side, if you ain't on my side, fuck you. Okay, I'm Charleston White today. Fuck you, because you don't deserve a platform to keep perpetuating that bullshit. Okay, that shit brings too much pain home, man. That shit brings too much pain in the community, and you don't care because you're getting a check. And that's the part that we have to understand. As long as they get a check for this bullshit, they're gonna keep on promoting this bullshit. And see, finally, we got some adults in the room. Now it's gonna be, that's the art form. No, see, all art ain't good art. You can't do anything you want to. All free speech ain't free. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. You can do it, but it's gonna come with consequences. Some shit don't deserve to be out in the public. Some shit needs to be in a certain arena. That ain't the arena. You're not gonna sit there and infect a bunch of kids and create havoc in the city because you want to make a couple of dollars. That don't make no sense. And new niggas will be spelled N-U-N-I-G-S. New niggas.
Can't get over that, man. I love that. It's like new age, new niggas. I love it.
Okay.
Let me play another clip of this mayor, and who happens to be a brother, Eric Adams. He is also targeting drill music being promoted on social media as well.
Violent people who are using drill rapping to post who they killed and then antagonize the people who they are going to kill is what the problem is.
The sister down in Atlanta, I'm digging her. I'm digging this dude right here. I mean, people are not, like you said, I think we got some adults in the room finally, Lonzo.
In the room, man. But again, watch all the parasites come out now. The parasite's gonna show up now. The parasite's gonna show up, man. You know what, you mess with people's money and woo, because you don't care, man. You live in a gated community. You don't live in that shit. You don't live in that hellhole. You don't have to. Your kids ain't got to worry about that right there. Y'all probably live in gated communities or real nice. I was telling somebody today, we were talking about the same situation, how people are able to make money and move to non-black communities because they know they can't do what they do in the black community and live safely. So they move to the white community, but they still perpetrate that bullshit on the black community. It's been
Thank
going
you,
on
man. God,
okay?
That's one of my biggest pet peeves, homie.
You can't, you know damn well you can't talk what you talk. You can't do what you do. You can't roll like you roll. And my boy, rest in peace, PNB, he proved that. You can't roll in the hood where you want to roll in the hood, especially when you representing certain things. So as soon as you get some money, you got to go to the white community where you're protected. You have to live behind a gated community where you're protected because you know damn well what you're doing ain't right. Everybody, it's happening to everybody. Every time they made a bunch of money, when the folks made money out here in back in the day, they moved to Calabasas, gated community. Got a guard, mountains all around us. I've been there, mountains and guards everywhere. Okay, you pull up on that lot, you got to look. Who are you going to see? Oh yes, if they don't call and say you can come in, you can't come in. You can't come in. You're not down there on the Shaw. Okay, and they talk all that shit and create all these problems and take their ass to the nearest white community and become a good citizen and go to the grocery store where they can do all this without having to worry about somebody sticking a gun in their face. But meanwhile, their lyrics, their music, and everything else is wreaking havoc, and so many people are into what they say and what they do. They actually believe they're who they said they are, and in most cases, they're not.
And I'm not comparing these two artists to the new niggas today, but like Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, things like that. It was really hard for me back at a certain time to hear them talk about, I'm banging, I'm selling drugs, I'm doing this, and I'm like, I know Snoop lives in Claremont Heights. I know Ice Cube lives in Calabasas. As a listener, it was really hard for me to hear them push this message, but they're living in $5 million homes.
Right. So I mean, you get paid for doing certain stuff, and it is what it is, Doc. But it's really sad that people are looking for heroes, man. People are looking for heroes. They're looking for Superman. They want to meet Batman. I was listening. I've been watching a lot of Charleston White videos lately. Charleston makes a lot.
Let's talk about him. Because it's funny. About 8 months ago, I asked you about Charleston White. You didn't know much about him other than the name.
I didn't know much about him at all. And I've been watching him. I've been following his videos. I've been listening to him a lot more. The man makes a lot of sense. He has learned to. He's an antagonist. But his platform, what he stands for, he hates gangbangers. He hates Crips and Bloods. He hates gangbangers. He hates the concept. He hates the mindset of it. But somebody who was at one of these brothers, he said something about, and that brother man checked him, and the brother had to apologize to him. Damn it. He had a regular name.
Gierbo.
No, he had a regular rapper. It wasn't a rapper name. It wasn't no little nutsack, nothing like that. It was a regular dude. Damn.
I'll look it up while you're talking.
And he said, man, the brother hit me from a man-to-man basis, and homeboy had to apologize to him. I got to respect that. Okay. Charleston just shot himself a few days ago.
That's not true. Charleston White is the best troller. First of all, he has everybody. He'll put a video out, or he'll have Say Cheese or somebody put a video out, and everybody runs with it without even checking the facts. But there was something about a week ago where there was a picture of Charleston White on the ground with what looked like blood, and it looked like and the title was Charleston White shoots himself in a Dallas club. Charleston White came out like 6 hours later after he was the #1 trending topic, a billion trends all over the YouTube, and he's dancing around. Got you guys. Don't believe. Aside from and let me tell you about Charleston White, Lonzo, which is kind of cool because I interviewed Charleston White in early 2020 before most people didn't even know who Charleston White was. I just got an ear of the brother one, and I was like, this dude is telling a good message. I liked his message. Mm-hmm. And if you go back and listen to my interview with him in 2020, it's not the Charleston White it's not the jumping around, and he was a regular dude. We had a regular conversation, and he was making a lot of points. My problem with Charleston White is when he he says the things like F Nipsey Hussle and F, you know, dead rappers. Like when a dead rapper comes out, he literally goes online and says F that. And I understand saying F gangster rap and F drill, but damn, to say F a dude who just died, that's where I think his message is getting a lot of BS put on top of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And you know, there's some things you just don't do to the dead, man. You know, I got stories about dead people. I won't tell most of them because I'm just trying to, you know, let somebody ask me about it, or if it comes up and it's really, 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 because you can't defend yourself. And you know, a lot of these guys, man, they were decent cats. They just played a bad game, but they lost. But and I think with him, he understands how the internet works. He fucks with.
He mastered it. He mastered the internet.
He's fucked with even without a channel. This dude ain't got a channel no more. Okay.
His channel keeps getting taken down, and he gets like 150,000 subscribers in 3 weeks.
I can't get 20,000 because I ain't I'm trying to get to 15 now. Shit, we had 13. I'm trying to get to 15, but I'm sorry. He is my dilemma as a grown ass man with a motherfucking AARP card, and I get a Social Security check. I can't do any goddamn thing, man. My soul will not allow me to just clown myself like that. I can't do it. Now I'll come up with some funny shit. I'll do some new shit. I'll do some different kind of shit. And I got my new word, new niggas. But is a certain shit I'm not gonna show my ass for the internet. I'm not gonna do it. I got a life outside of this shit. This is not my only thing I do. So when I'm out and talking to mayors and senators and congressmen, and I got my Rolodex is full of people. I mean, at my event, I got senators and mayors and council people. Dude, I just can't be any old kind of motherfucker. Okay, I have to be conscious of how I talk on the internet because they put up one of these videos. I might miss some of my funding. Okay, shit. This is what I enjoy doing this right here. This is part of my mentoring program, to sit here and talk to brothers about hip hop and how it has declined, dissolved, evolved, whatever the case may be. But I'm not going to do it at the expense of any of my real businesses. No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. And I actually, Charleston White and I were on phone call terms at one point. We talked over the phone. We texted several times. Keep in mind, this is 2020, and we were going to do something together. He approached me and said, "Hey, I would like to do something with you. Let's put something together." And I just this is when he just started. He was hot. Like he was like saying some shit, but he ain't saying what he's saying now, but he was still saying some shit. And I'm like, man, I can't attach myself to you because I live in Los Angeles and I got to walk around LA. Like, you know what I mean? I can't do it, man. Keep doing your thing, homie, but I'll support you or whatever from afar. But no, I can't. There can't be no Dusty Vision, Charleston White, because I go through I buy fish in my favorite spot in Compton. Like I'm going to different spots and I can't do it.
It's certain shit I'm not gonna do because I understand it's certain. I roll the streets of Compton on a regular basis. I'm in City Hall. I'm in the mall. I'm in wherever I want to go, I go. Okay, and I don't need to have nobody looking at me talking about why I sit on the internet. Nah, man. If it ain't brother ain't looking to shake my hand, it ain't what I ain't gonna sit there and they gonna get my hand shake. I want to keep my head on my shoulders.
There it is, man. We made it this far. Let's keep it going. All right, let's keep talking, Lonzo. There's something that I would love your opinion on, and this is something that happened a couple weeks ago. I wanted to talk about it last week, but it's still kind of a big story. You know, Brett Favre allegedly stole $5 million. Are you familiar with that story before I go on?
Very much so.
Okay, cool. People are upset, and including, you know, myself a little bit, that it isn't getting any negative attention like they did say when Colin Kaepernick took a knee at the football game. Why do you think that is?
Brett Favre is an all-American hero, man. He's just shy of God when it comes to football. And, you know, he got it from Mississippi. He got it for his daughter. His daughter's volleyball gym. And he got it from the poorest state, one of the poorest states in the union, from black folks who can't get decent water. But nonetheless, it was given to him from one white dude to another white dude. And, you know, Brett Favre getting that $5 million is the same reason why Herschel Walker is getting any kind of love in Georgia because they love football, and he's to give that football hero, he's a fucking hero, and get pictures and probably get some autographs. Come on, man, and it's for a good cause. It's for his girl's daughter's volleyball gym, but again, nobody else can do that and get away with it without going to the penitentiary. My brother, the dude, I forgot his name, Undu, Nia Lonzo, man, he about to lose his job because he got a little side ass. Come on, man, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, when you look at all the different levels of double standards that we're seeing in our face, right in your face, don't give a damn. Colin Kaepernick took a knee for police brutality. They changed it up there. He was disrespecting the flag. Get that bum off the stage, blah, blah, blah. This man stole $5 million from the poorest state in the union. And it's like, sweep this under the rug. And let's talk about this brother screwing this travel agent. Okay? He'll catch more hell behind that shit than Brad Favre will. Because he didn't steal the money. They gave it to him. He asked for it. And that's the difference. He asked for it and they gave it to him. He didn't steal it. It came from a source that the money was needed for something else, but again, he asked for it and they gave it to him. So yes, he got the money his damn self. He could have wrote a check and donated the money himself, but he asked somebody who he felt he had favor with, and they wrote him a check and made it possible. So yeah, Doc, it's just amazing how things can go from one extreme to another depending on what football player does what.
Very interesting. Yeah. I mean, Michael Vick, and I love dogs, but Michael Vick was the devil. Yeah. You know what I mean, for what he did.
And he wasn't even there. He wasn't even home. He was out throwing the ball, but they had to slow his ass down. Boy was running all over everybody. Okay. He was a great person to put in the crosshairs of dog lovers, and they needed something. They got rid of him. He came back, kicked some more ass, and still got his money. But his cousin did the shit. Okay, Michael Vick did not fight no dogs. It was his cousin. Happened to be at his house. He may have known about it, but it's just that certain things come down on certain people a lot different.
We've talked about R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, getting thrown under the ringer or whatever, and then as they probably should. But why aren't people like boycotting Elvis Presley's estate? He married a 14-year-old, right? He was banging like 13-year-olds, and like, is it us doing it to us, or is it the media putting this narrative, or is it a little bit of both?
I think we give credence to we give them a base. Okay, Elvis never had a base. Elvis never had a base to really to cancel him. Okay, cancel culture. First of all, cancel culture was not around, and there was no real call for Elvis to go to jail for marrying his wife at 14 years old. Okay, there was no call for that. It was something that was done. It's been done before. He ain't the first one to do it. Okay, so they couldn't get no legs under the program. It was thought about. Oh, that's Elvis. He's the king. She gave it to him. He married her anyway. What's the big deal? And we're talking about down south. Okay, down south, shit, they was doing that. That's a regular. Come on, man. If it bleeds, she need. What's the old saying?
No offense to our friends down south. We hope that if she bleeds, she get ass. Yeah.
So I'm saying. So you got people with that attitude. Not everybody, but some people have that attitude. And depending on the time, you talking about the 60s down south, everybody in this, not every woman, but I keep saying a lot of women would have loved to be in her place. I give them how old they were. Okay. And they felt she was lucky. That was one of the few times that situation was in the favor of a woman that was admired. Because if it was a dude, usually it was the other way around. Young guy, older woman, he's always chest stuck out. But she was like, "Oh damn, girl, you got Elvis, you got that king. Hey, nobody mad at her, so you can't get no legs under it." But when you put R. Kelly, he got legs under it, and man, all we want to do is a lot of people all they want to do is be a part of something good, bad, or indifferent, trying to find a way to monetize it. If bringing him down was going to monetize their Facebook account or their YouTube channel or get them on some talk shows, let me go and get this money. Oh, he tried it with me too. Everybody started crying. Everybody crying. Okay, so yeah, Doc. It's it's just amazing, dude. That but again, it's right in your face. How you gonna deal with it? What you gonna do? It's right in your face. You see it happen. You saw it happen over here. You saw Bill Cosby got some retroactive, whatever. He did some fucked up shit, but goddamn, how long is it? What happened to the statute of limitations? What happened to the word of the you cut a deal? That's supposed to be the deal. Not because somebody want to make a name off of you. Come on now, dude. That man had to go sit, and man is harmless. He probably got to take a Viagra IV to get to work again. But shit, he harmless. He did it, but you ain't gonna undo nothing. So anyway, man, it is what it is, Doc.
Damn. Gary says 5 high school football players were shot in Philly this afternoon at a practice game. 1 is dead. Goddamn shame, man. That's the shit that makes me sad, and that's the stuff that we should be protesting about. And this will be a story. The only time we're going to hear about this is probably in the chat room, unfortunately.
These the ones that's when you start marching, man. You don't march on you don't march on the you don't just march on the cop, you march on the hood, dude. You march on everything, Doc. You got something to say, you say it for everything. You don't just march on certain things. You don't just you don't pick and choose who you march on or who you march for. If you're really serious about this, you're supposed to be out there right now. And this is what the problem is. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. Oh man, it's part of the game. They wrong place, wrong time. Negro, every place is the wrong place at the wrong time. We got more excuses than the nigga in jail. Nigga in jail, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna join the church. I wouldn't mean, but that's what happens. We've turned a blind eye to so much, and it's all against us. And see, other people don't stand for that kind of shit. Other people don't stand for that. Other folks, no, they ain't taking that. They're not tolerating a mother of 3 getting shot in the middle of the street. They're not tolerating 5 kids getting shot. God, kids trying to get their football on, and somebody rides by and shoots 5 of them and kill one of them. And then ain't nobody wants to snitch on the shooter, which means the shooter's protected by the community. That's what it turns out to be. The shooter's protected.
Yep. Man, dude, Lonzo, we need another, we're all in the same gang. We need another self-destruction. We need something like that. And we need, and we legit, elders and even people who are in the game right now, I think we legit, I hate to say this, but I think we legit need to boycott drill rap and just don't allow it on your album. Like, I think it's getting to that case, dude. No. Am I getting old?
No, dude, you're not getting old. You're getting responsible. It's a difference. Okay? It's a difference, because if there are no adults in the room, understand this. Whether it's a teen party, whether it's a school dance, if ain't no adults in the room, kids gonna act a goddamn fool. Okay? When back in the day when you was a youngster and your mom and them had a party, they wasn't paying y'all no attention. We did all kinds of shit to our
hunting in the back, see all that, man.
Friends, we drink it, we trying to sneak a little beer in, you trying to do some finger shit, you trying to kiss on somebody because nobody paying no attention. The same shit damn well you get your ass before if somebody heard you, somebody saw you doing that shit. But because everybody else is having a good time, they dancing to Marvin Gaye and playing spades and stuff. Y'all in the kid room. Ain't nobody paying y'all no attention. It's the same thing with this right here. Ain't nobody paying no attention because everything is so segregated nowadays. All the music is personalized. There's no way of knowing what your kid is listening to unless you just snatch the headphones off of his head, put them on your head while he ain't paying attention, so he can't change the channel before you can change the music, before you can hear the music. So there, people are being inundated with all this negativity, and you got so many different things that coming at kids right now. And like I said before, I'm gonna say it again: the internet don't come with no instructions, man. And you can't even guide them because you don't know they're listening to it till it's too late. You can't even guide them because it's too late.
You know what? Speaking of, we're all in the same gang, which was just such a good time in hip hop, including self-destruction. But I want to talk about we're all in the same gang. Did you ever run across or do any business with Michael Concepcion?
Know him very well.
Okay, talk to us about him.
I knew Michael. Me and Michael were about the same age. He went to Washington. I went to Centennial. And we grew up in a different time where I could go to Washington and sell 8-tracks. I used to be the 8-track dude. Don't ask me how I got them. I would go to Washington and sell 8-tracks in his neighborhood. And I had a blue 64 Chevy. Michael loved that 64 Chevy. He wanted to buy it from me. He was talking about buying it from me. And we've always been cool. If you look at my book right now, N.W.A. Now Lonzo, one of the first people I think in my book is Michael Concepcion. Even after he got shot, Michael Concepcion would come to he could come to the eve after dark. Michael Concepcion could go anywhere he wanted to go. Nobody give a damn. Okay. Michael Concepcion knew my history, and every time I would see Michael, Lonzo, where that book at, man? You bullshit. Michael, Lonzo, where that book at? I mean, this went on for years. And it got to the point, I'm gonna write this goddamn book and just get him off my ass, okay? And when I wrote the book, one of the first people I thought I gave thanks to was Michael Concepcion, staying consistently on my ass about writing my book. And that's no bullshit. If you bought a book, look around, look at the first few thanks. I don't think nobody else. First one I give props to is Michael Concepcion.
Nice. Okay, I think I remember that story now that you said it.
And it was always funny, man, because no matter what woman I've ever met, he's always tried to hit on. My first wife, my second wife knew him. My girlfriend. I mean, we have a natural. I guess we like the same kind of women because every woman I know got a Michael Concepcion story, new and old.
Love it. Did Eazy-E ever share any stories about his time doing that song, or was it just another thing that Eazy was doing at that time and he didn't talk to you about it?
Michael Concepcion has always been one of them cats that can get cats to do shit. He had the influence and the respect to call the shots to make shit happen. He was around doing shit when people was doing the Tookie and Jamel days, and he wasn't a leftover. He was one of the triple OGs, and he just, hey man, I need y'all to do this. Cool, let's do it. He was always around Uncle Jam's Army. He was always around Even After Dark. He was around. Everybody knew who he was, and even when he got shot, he didn't lose no power. He didn't lose nothing, and he made a lot of money in the game and shit. He's always been a powerful cat and a very influential cat, and especially here in the community. And he just was able to call everybody up and, hey man, I want to do this. And everybody said, let's get it done.
Yeah, influence. That's funny that you mentioned that word because I interviewed Money B on my show from Digital Underground, and they were also in that song, We're All in the Same Gang. And he said in so many words that when Michael Concepcion asked someone to do something at that time, it was a good idea that you did it. And that's kind of how he got, that's how he got everybody on one song.
Yeah. It was a good idea. It was like doing a favor for the Dawn. Okay. If you call, hey man, cool. I'm there. What you need.
There it is. Shout out to Michael Concepcion. Now, I want to do this quick segment for 2 minutes, my dummy of the week, Lonzo, before we move on. And before we do move on, I'm going to ask everybody in the chat room to hit that like button. And if you're new to the show, please subscribe to the channel if you like what you're hearing. And definitely hit that bell notification so you can get notified every time Lonzo drops some content. But this weekend's dummy of the week, Lonzo, and it's going to be easy to pull these stories because it seems like, oh my goodness, this generation. But an Instagram post leads investigators to 70 plus stolen firearms from a Michigan gun store. So what these guys did, Lonzo, was they decided to rob a gun store, steal 70 guns, and then immediately post themselves holding the guns on Instagram. Talk to me, dude.
I'm gonna get me a Forrest Gump sample. Stupid is as stupid does. Okay.
Hey, that's a good one.
I need that sample. Stupid is as stupid does. Okay. And what can you say, man? Dude? This is why I say the internet don't come. Internet don't come with no instructions. These guys have no OGs around them to tell them if you do something, you don't sit your ass down and don't tell the police where the fuck you are if you be trying to get away with it. Now, if you just want to get caught, do what you keep doing, okay? But oh man, somebody snitched on this. Ain't nobody snitched on you, fool. You snitched on yourself. You went to Instagram, and that's the sad part about some of the things we're experiencing right now. Unless it's on Instagram or Facebook, well, Instagram more than anything. If you don't record it, it didn't happen. Everything gets recorded. Shootings, robberies, even if they get away with it, they show the money. Dude, it's only a matter of time before they catch your ass. It makes no sense. But again, these guys have no guidance. They have no OGs around them. They think everything is cool. You think you got away that it's over with. You gotta be stupid. You gotta be stupid. You think because you left the building with the guns, it's over with. They just started their investigation. They just started their investigation when the guns got broken into. They didn't track every damn ATM camera, light camera. They monitoring all social media, and they're gonna go for the first cats in the neighborhood. First of all, they know it's a local situation. All they gotta do is find somebody with something, or find somebody with.
And that's the best part. That's the best part of the story, Lonzo. Sorry to cut you off, but they got turned in. Someone reckoned there was a $20,000 reward. Someone recognized them and turned them in. So
I'm finna cash in, bro. I ain't gonna do with this. I'm finna get my 20 grand. Okay. I know I may sound like a buster or somebody. I'm finna get paid. First of all, if they that stupid to get caught, you don't want them having that many guns. If they that stupid to be on the internet flashing the guns that they stole from a gun shop, you don't want them kind of fools with that many guns. You doing the community a service by getting them off the streets and make 20 grand in the process.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. Everybody keep those questions coming. I'm copying and pasting. We might as well jump into some questions, but shout out to Marlon Cozy, the STEM Radio American Negro, for holding it down. Ben Frank, Charles, you guys are so dope. Rashard Cobb, really appreciate you guys. Nightbreed. I actually have a question from Nightbreed. He says, yo, Lonzo, was there ever a point where you warned N.W.A. about the music they started making?
No, because they left here before they started making that kind of music. You got to understand, when they were with me, they did the Boys in the Hood. They did the Boys in the Hood demo here. They did a Dope Man demo here, and whatever else was on that EP. They left. When they left, they didn't come back. Easy came back, Yella came back, but they were doing some other stuff by then. Nah, they didn't. I didn't have a chance to talk to them about it. They didn't really care no way. And I'm waiting on the hammer to come down. Like, when is this ever going to end? But as you can see, it didn't end no time soon.
Yeah. Oh, you thought somebody was going to basically expose them? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only person, but I realized only person that could expose them was me, and I was pretty much ostracized at that point. Yella came back after they broke up. Easy came around. Easy would come around from time to time, just to hang out from time to time. But for the most part, Dre had never been back. Cuba's never been back. So, I was pretty much out of the loop by then.
Yeah, I'm telling you, obviously until the internet came out, I knew it was different. But when I was coming up, I legit thought they were the biggest gangsters, killers, drug dealers in the world. And this is an 11-year-old me. Was the image that powerful? Is that why they never got exposed, do you think? Well, again,
nobody had any way of vetting anything. Everything was pretty much, you got to understand hip hop, dude. Back then, everything was pretty much word was bond. Okay, if you said something, people took you for it. Okay, women thought I had a super dick, and I was always talking about sex and shit. They thought I was some kind of super lover. I'm just a regular dude. I got a hot few minutes on a good day. Shit. But you know, when you're on record and understand hip hop, man. This is the part I used to talk about this back in the early days when I would do speeches. Hip hop was always based on keeping it real. People weren't lying about their histories. Rakim was a stick-up kid, okay? Rakim was a stick-up kid. Run DMC was who they said they were. We had our fantasies. Yes, we did. Sugar Hill Gang. I got a brand new car in the pool. Blah blah blah. We knew that was bullshit. Morris Day. I got diamonds on my fingers. There's a couple on my toes. We knew that was bullshit. But when it came to guys that looked like that, had that street look, and well, again, now back up again for a minute. Grab some videos. Go back to YouTube. When they first came out, they didn't look like that. They had on regular shit. They were doing, express yourself, something to dance to. They weren't doing the same shit. It wasn't until later on, after the Rodney King thing jumped off, and they had "Fuck the Police" on the album. "Fuck the Police" became the national anthem.
Damn. Yeah, that album made me fall in love with hip hop. I can't lie. King Dave Young wants to know, hey Lonzo, did you know John Singleton?
I met John Singleton one time right before he died. Yep. I didn't know him personally. We met at an event, and I met John. Then I met F. Gary Gray at his when he got to star on the Walk of Fame. But yeah.
Nice. Perez says, hey Lonzo, he says, hey Lonzo, the West Coast originator, back in your heyday, have you ever owned a lowrider?
Hell yeah. Shit, yeah. Got one now. Shit.
Hey, you got a dope ass lowrider too.
I got one right now. I got an 85 convertible Cadillac Barrettes on 20s. It ain't cut or nothing like that, but that motherfucker clean as a shit on New Year's Eve. Shit. I never got into cutting my cars up. I had the opportunity a few times. I just like my cars lowered. And back when I was really low riding, they didn't have airbags. Okay. Back then, the low riding was, have your car cut up was depending on who put your lifts in, could have ruined your car forever. And it was always some problems. Back then it wasn't like it is. It wasn't high tech like it is right now. It was very iffy, and you had the battery. People weren't doing the stuff they're doing now. They didn't have all the braided hoses. They had regular hoses, and you hit a pothole, hose bust. Now you got to get a tow truck to get your car. Even airbags right now. I was thinking about bagging my Cadillac, but I found out I couldn't because of the front wheel drive for one. But my boy, he advised me to get it because sometimes those bags get punctured. Now your shit is dragging. Everybody got their thing. Yeah, I've had a few low rides. That's been my thing all my life, man. Shit, I was a grown ass man. Like I said, I got an 85 blade, pretty the motherfucker, call it Sunshine.
Yeah, was the lowrider culture, was it pretty big, like in the 70s, 80s? Like, when was it at its biggest?
Lowriders has always been around. I remember my cousin, dude, in the 60s. I might have been about 10, 12 years old. My cousin had a car called a Monza, okay, made by Chevrolet. It was like a Volkswagen, had an engine in the back, and they would take the shocks out, and heat the springs up so the car would sit low, okay? And that's when they had record players in the car. They had a real, I'm not bullshitting, had a record player in the car. You couldn't drive and listen to the music, but you park it from your girl's house, and you wouldn't be bumping, but you could hear the music. It had a lot of Latino lowriders still got record players in their cars right to this day as a nostalgic thing. Record players and aftermarket air conditioners became a major shit back in the day. Just to have if you see an old lowrider with an aftermarket air conditioner, because the air conditioner was not always standard in cars. Air conditioning, electric windows, and automatic transmissions were not always standard. You had to spend some money to get an automatic transmission. If not, you busted some gears, okay? Or you cranking up some windows, or your ass is gonna be hot if you ain't got no money, okay? Those are all extras. And lowrider back in the day, they had record players, 45 RPM record players that sat right on the hump of the car in the middle, and or hung from the dashboard, and you couldn't, like I said, you couldn't go nowhere and listen to the shit, but you could sit in front of somebody's house and do some parking lot pimping.
Parking lot pimping, baby. Everybody's saying you got the quotes for tonight. You said something earlier that was smooth about 10 minutes ago. Somebody post in the comment section what that was, because a couple people commented on it. Someone wants, JB says, Compton or Rhodium swap meet, where did you make most of your money from your records?
Man, dude, you got to understand, that's not a fair competition, okay? Because Mr. Park at the swap meet, he bought for all the swap meets. Mr. Park, he was, understand the swap meets. Swap meets are gangsters. They all gangsters. Whenever they find a source, you don't sell nobody but me. Nobody else. So I couldn't sell. No, I couldn't go to the Slauson. I couldn't go to the Delamo. I had to go see Mr. Park, and Mr. Park would sell to them. Okay. So Mr. Park, I'd put it to Mr. Park, and he would buy 500, 700, something like that, so he can supply all his people. Okay. Steve Yano at the Rhodium, he would buy multiple numbers, but he might not buy as many. Mr. Park would buy multiple numbers too, but he focused on the hot ones. Steve he sold the catalog, okay? Because Steve was going to be there for 2 days, and he had more of a hip hop crowd. So if they missed on one thing, they always wanted to buy something else. Mr. Park would buy shit, and then once it slowed down, he'd trade me the old shit. That take it to sell it to Steve. Record business was a motherfucker back then. In fact, I was with Cletus Anderson, the owner of VIP, last week, and we both were talking about how much we miss actual vinyl, because those were the days, man, when the hustle game was real. It was real. But yeah, I'm gonna have to say, man, that's the equal tie, man, just based on the business structure. Like I said, Mr. Park sold to all the swap meets, and I hate when he had his stroke because it slowed him down a lot. But one time, one of the guys hit me up from Slauson, and I sold him a box of records from Slauson because he couldn't catch Mr. Park. And dude, I caught hell behind that. I never would do it again. I'd never do it again.
I love talking about. Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
No, you tell me you don't sell nobody else, or I don't buy no more. No problem. Anthony,
shout out to Ann, man. Good looking out. He says, I love watching your show. It brings back a lot of memories. P.S. Detroit loved Turn Off the Lights. Detroit was a good market for you guys, right?
Detroit was a great market for me, man. Shit, come on, dude. Great market, dude. Come on, man. It was. I only did one show in Detroit that I can recall, though, man. We was in there. We was on like a little passing through tour. We only did one. I can't even think of the theater no more. But we did one show in Detroit, and then we played Detroit, and wherever was close by there, we played that, and we, it
Flint or something like that.
Yeah. It was 30 years ago, so it's kind of fleeting right now. But much love to you, Doc. I appreciate the donation too.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Good looking out. You were there, Lonzo. Let's kind of go back to what you were just talking about with the record, how the industry was crazy back then. I mean, you were literally doing everything by yourself. You had nobody, if anybody, to confide in, to ask questions. You were chopping trees and stuff, as you said. What were some of the mistakes? Because I know you had to make a lot of mistakes at the beginning. What were some of the mistakes that you made that maybe you just made them once and then you're like, okay, I ain't doing this shit again, but you didn't know because this is all new.
I've always been a nice guy, and sometimes being a nice guy, you overlook a financial opportunity. I should have got a referral fee. I should have got me a couple of points on the N.W.A. project. Period. Okay, I should have got 2 points. Usually, when you refer somebody, if somebody refers somebody to do a deal, there's always a point or two that's thrown in as, hey man, if it work out, here you go. Okay. And that 2 points would have made me a millionaire, multi-millionaire. But I was, hey man, I was just cool. Hey man, go ahead, And even today I find myself, I have to stop doing that shit because I'll refer somebody And if it work out, thank you, man. But nobody come back and say, man, here go a check.
Yeah,
that's some bullshit. Okay, so then you become an asshole if you ask for it. Well, man, it's customary to do shit like that. Well, man, all you did was, well, if I didn't do that, you couldn't do what you did.
Exactly, bro.
If I didn't do, my boy, I got to give this to my boy, Kelvin Anderson said some other day. We were talking about how we help so many people, and most folks don't reach back. He said, you know what? Whether it's a Bentley, Rolls Royce, a Bugatti, take the starter out that motherfucker and see how fast it go.
Thank you. And you are the starter.
Out that motherfucker. Take the starter out. Take the starter out and see how fast it go. Okay. And we were.
You are full of the motherfucking sayings tonight, dog. The other one you said earlier, somebody put down below is cleaner than a chitlin on New Year's Eve. I ain't never heard shit like that.
That's some old school shit right there, Doc. You got to be from down south to understand that one, Doc. I think Martin might know about that. Martin just got back.
Oh, I know about that, man. All my aunties are from down south.
Down south, so he might be up on that. But yeah, but cleaning the chitlin on New Year's Eve, man. That's one of my daddy's saying. But yeah, Doc, you take the starter out of any goddamn car, it ain't going nowhere. So the starter is one of the most important. All that paint, all them rims, all them radios and bumps and humps and sounds and shit don't mean a motherfucking thing if you ain't got no starter. Starter don't work. So that's why you see me in so many videos in the early stages. First 10 minutes at most videos, you're gonna find Lonzo. First 10 minutes, I'm in the DOC's documentary. Okay. I'm in everybody's doc. When they do easy story, I'll be in that motherfucker too. Okay. I don't know if it started yet. I don't know if they're doing it now, but when they do it, if I ain't in the first 10 minutes, it's some bullshit. They trying to work around the motherfucker. But I tell you what, when they do that motherfucker, they gotta give me some money. I'm not going for this no more bullshit. I'm not going for it no more. Fuck that. Give me my money. Okay.
Yep. D Blue has a good question, and maybe we could wrap it up with this before we talk about what's coming up next on Thursday and all that. But D Blue says, when did cruising start on Crenshaw? Do you know about that?
I think cruising started on Crenshaw after I think in the late 70s, early 80s, because before Crenshaw, they used to meet at Church's Chicken right here on Vermont and Century on a Sunday.
Really?
Yeah, Vermont and Century. It used to be a Church's Chicken where that YMCA is right there in the neighborhood. It used to be a Church's Chicken right there.
Ah, okay.
It would be hundreds of dudes out there, hundreds. They hopping and doing whatever they do, and all of a sudden here come LAPD, and everybody was scattered. And I'm sitting there going, "Why y'all running? Y'all ain't done that. Y'all ain't broke no laws." But guys got warrants. Some guys back then, hydraulics was definitely a ticket. You can get your shit towed behind hydraulics. I never had hydraulics, and I would go to the window, buy me a 2-piece, and sit there. The cops rolled up on me, and I'm eating. The fuck you? I'm a customer. I got Kragers on my shit. I got 520s on my shit. I got pipes on my shit. But I got a 2-piece too, motherfucker. I got this 2-piece that gives me permission to sit here, and I never ran. It would be crazy, dude, because guys were literally running down those cars and shit trying to get out of that shit. It was like some Dukes of Hazzard shit. And then they moved over to Crenshaw, and because Crenshaw has a long stretch, because this was a big old parking lot, but Crenshaw had that long stretch, and then you can come up and down. You can go up and down the Shaw, hit your lifts. You got the flames, you got the sparks and shit come out your car. So it made made more of a more car friendly atmosphere. And right now, it's not as bad as it used to be. There's a restaurant called the District on Crenshaw. If you pull up on the District on a Friday or Saturday night, be a bunch of low riders out there, old cats with Cadillacs and shit out there. No, that's no bullshit.
I love that. All right, Rob Turnbull asked a question. Let's give him a quick answer. What car audio brands were big back then, Lonzo? Alpine, Fosgate?
Alpine was the ultimate shit right there.
Yeah.
If you had Alpine, nigga, you was the shit. Okay, Alpine cost you $250 back then. Okay, back JBL then, speakers, Alpine. We had just got into amps. Amps wasn't that, amps had just come out back then. and you might get some 6x9s. Again, we were just about to get into the big bass speakers and shit. We hadn't got into them yet. My shit was I had bench bucket seats in my car, and my bench buckets had a metal plate on the back of it. I cut a hole in the back of the metal seats, and I put my speakers in the back of the metal seat. My shit was dope. So I'd pull up into a spread. I would lay my seats down so my speakers would pump up. It was a different thing. Blaupunkt, thank you, man. Thank you. Blaupunkt was the shit too. That was German shit. Blaupunkt, that shit was expensive as fuck. But a good Alpine to blow it out the water all day long. Then they came out with other different brands and shit, man. They came out because I think what made the a lot of them go to the wayside when they came out with the face off shit. When the face off shit came off.
Oh yeah, pull out radios.
It was a pull out. Pull out was a pain in the ass because you got.
It had the big ass suitcase damn near.
The whole radio pull out, okay. And they said, "Oh, we go to take the face off this motherfucker." That was the shit. Put the face in your pocket. But yeah, that's a whole nother story, folks. So yeah, just keeping it 100.
Yeah.
That's some real shit right there. Pioneer was good too. Said Born. Yeah, Pioneer was the shit too. It's all made in China. It all depends on what label you like. That's all. It's all made in fucking China.
Japan, right? Japan. I don't know, but everything's made in China. I get what you're saying.
Made in China. Okay.
What's coming up on Thursday with you and Dre?
Man, Dre got some new shit for me. He called me today. He got a television channel we trying to simulcast to right now. So, yes, American Negro Kenwood was the shit too.
Kenwood for sure.
Kenwood was the shit.
Clarion, damn, you bringing it all back.
Oh, come on, man.
And yes, you can still buy the Not Without Alonzo book. Real quick, tell them someone wants to know how.
The book is still available on my website, lonzowilliams.com, where you can see all this right here on my website. I broadcast live to my website as well, lonzowilliams.com. The book, the t-shirts, everything is still available, folks. Go to my website, lonzowilliams.com. If you can't find it there, hit me on my email, reallonzonwa@gmail. reallonzonwa@gmail, folks. And I'll make sure you get it. I got a model, got the shirt coming right now. We're just getting them printed up right now, folks. Much love, Jonathan, for asking that question. All right, folks, that's how we do it, y'all. Man, that's been a quick hour, dude. I missed you.
Yeah,
about fast. But
always fun, man. Always fun.
JVC, yes, sir.
JVC is another one. Dang, dude.
What you got going on, Doc?
Man, I'm just I'm chilling, man. You want to keep going a little bit, or you want to call it a night? I'll leave it up to you, man.
I'm good. If y'all good, I'm good.
Yeah, man, we got the gang in the building, man. Let's keep talking some hip hop. Let's talk a little bit because I love the old stories, Lonzo. Is there anything what haven't you talked about in a long time? Something that because all right, when did you start? Like when would you say your career started?
1970.
Hip hop.
My hip hop. See, you got to understand, our hip hop did not come from hip hop. Our hip hop started with locking. That was our first introduction to something different than what was going on. Okay, and locking was like unique as shit for us, and that was our breakdancing on the West Coast. We didn't have the same. We had Cool Herc, Lonzo in the parks. We had shit like that, but I wasn't trying to mix. I was just trying to keep the records from melting. Them motherfuckers was hot. It was warping and shit. So it was a different thing for us. And hip hop, we didn't even get introduced to the term till about 79. Okay. We got introduced to the term hip hop, but we had been doing the same shit. We were doing the same shit, but it was just us doing what we did. You know, fresh out of high school, I'm in broadcast school. I'm doing disco. Okay. I'm disco Lonzo. So when we then shortly after that, my boys started doing parties in various hotels and shit, and that was an era that nobody talks about, man. That was like our introduction to the hip hop lifestyle. Okay, it wasn't called hip hop yet, but you got groups like LSD Promotions, Z-Car Productions, my company Disco Construction, Uncle Jam's Army Elite Production, all these people. And we were competing to put how many people we can put into a room on any given weekend, Friday or Saturday night. That was our thing, okay? So it wasn't the same as it was for New York, with the New York thing. We came from dance promoters. The godfather of dance promoters was a cat named JC2. He would do dances at the Proud Bird by the airport, and he would have a group called Ohio Lakeside Express, which later y'all know him as Lakeside. So all this shit was evolving. It was the infant stage of all this shit. So everybody was evolving and growing. And only a handful of us morphed into the hip hop situation. That was me and Roger and Unknown. Roger from Uncle Jam's Army, Roger Clayton from Uncle Jam's Army, and Unknown. We're the only ones that actually evolved into the actual hip hop situation and started doing our own records and music and DJing and stuff like that.
Love that. And I just looked at my battery, and I literally have 9% on my battery. So I guess we'll go until my phone dies out.
We out of
but
here.
A typical party, Lonzo, take me back to whatever, when you were DJing, 79, 80, typical party. When you're looking out into the audience, what are you seeing? Are you seeing mostly black folks? Are you seeing blacks and Hispanics? Are you seeing white folks and black? Like, what's the typical demographic of a party back then for you, one of your parties?
Party at Alpine Village, 99.9 black, few Latinos, maybe a couple of white girls, 99.9. Alpine Village, Alpine Village was a German restaurant that we rented on Friday nights only, because Saturday nights they had the German dances. It was a little mini German looking town. It looked like little Bavaria, okay? And it had nothing going on Friday night, so they would let us have it, a couple $100. And all our promotion was at the various high schools. It was Carson High School, Banning High School, Gardena High School, Centennial, Compton, Locke, and all those schools were predominantly black and some Samoans, but Samoans didn't really party with us that much. They didn't party with us that much. They kind of did their own thing, but a few of them showed up from time to time. And it just was a whole nother vibe, man, because everybody would just, it was just, you can put 500, 600, 1,000 kids in a room. Everybody danced. Everybody went home safe. Everybody went home. We didn't have no dead bodies. And even the gangbangers that showed up, man, a lot of times they didn't come out, and they would harass people from time to time, but it was a different kind of mindset. They was looking for girls, and if you was talking to a girl that the gangbanger may liked, he may want to fuck with you, but shit, that's what it was, dude.
Man, so okay, nowadays probably the biggest fear as a club owner is obviously maybe getting your club shot up or somebody getting shot up in a club. 79, 80, what was the biggest fear as a promoter, as a DJ? What was your biggest fear back then? Rain on your night. Oh, that's a good one.
Rain, nigga, you was fucked. If it rained, you was fucked. Okay. Other than that, dude, I mean, we didn't really trip on. We didn't have the gang. The gangs were not. Alpine Village was in Torrance, California. Torrance, California is probably one of them cities, and it ain't happening over here. Okay,
you don't mess around. Everybody knows.
By the freeway, you're right by the freeway. When Torrance PD show up, all parking lot pimping comes to a halt. Hit the freeway, get your ass back where you got to go. And that's what it was. When one car showed up, they just pull up. Oh, got to go. And so it just was a whole different mindset, man. And that's why it's hard for me to wrap my mind about what these kids are going through now. The trauma these kids go through behind going to a party and seeing your friend, or getting a call that somebody got shot, somebody got killed. Dude, we didn't have that. We didn't have that. We had regular phones on the wall and shit, but nobody was calling, hey man, so-and-so got shot last night. The more communication these kids got, the more bad news they get. Shit. They get some horrible shit, man. So it's just it's a whole different vibe, dude. And we didn't, I'm looking at Charles and Marlon talk about the different groups. Electro Funk didn't come out till the 80s. Dude, Alpine Village, we was bumping Rick James, okay? We was bumping Slave, Cameo. We wasn't bumping these. They hadn't hit yet. We bumping early Prince, okay? I wanted soft and wet and shit. Like when everybody was looking at Prince with a side eye, like, what's this little motherfucker on this horse butt ass naked? I'm not playing that nigga shit. That nigga naked on the horse. I'm not fucking with him. That's the kind of shit we was dealing with back then, man. You know, this dude is naked on a horse, man. I'm not playing that dude. Look at him on this album cover with nothing but an ass chap on, in heels and shit. In a thong and shit laying on his back, man. This dude is tripping, man. So, you know, it was a whole different vibe, man. And Rick James got braids on, standing by a pole, looking like a hoe in hoe boots and shit. I'm like, what's this dude? Oh man, this shit is funky though, you know. But we didn't go out there. I didn't buy no hoe boots and get no braids. Nah, nobody did that shit. We let them do their thing. Mike was the shit. Mike wasn't no punk back then. Okay, we doing all this shit at the same time. And it wasn't, and then we just came out the disco era. And that's why I was saying to my boy, DJ Academics was trying to diss last week. I think we talked about this for a minute.
No, we didn't talk about it. Thank you for bringing that up, Lonzo, because you being a pioneer, Academics called a lot of the pioneers dusty, and there's a lot of that. So yeah, thank you. I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to talk about that.
Dude, you know, hip hop came right behind disco. Disco was on life support and was dying a slow death in 77, 78, and 79, here come hip hop. And everybody thought that hip hop was going to die the same death that disco did. And you got guys like me and Grandmaster Flash Furious 5, you got Curtis Blow. And we kept that motherfucker on. We kept hip hop on life support for a long time, man. We pumping it hard, clear, keeping it going, and even especially on the West Coast, because wasn't nobody checking for none of us, man. Nobody was getting checked for. We was making records right after these guys started making records, and nobody, it'll be dead in a couple of months. We like, no, they ain't gonna die. We gonna let it die. We gonna make our own records. We can start our own damn companies. That's how you got LA Dream Team. That's how you got Crew Cut Records. That's how you got Unknown DJ, Egyptian Lover. We said, nah, man, we ain't gonna let it die. We're gonna make our own goddamn records. That's all. And that's what we started doing. And that's what brought West Coast hip hop out of life support, out of ER into the mainstream. And if it wasn't for us, the shit would have died a long time ago. You had, and I gotta go back a little bit further, man. Guys like Duffy Hooks, people don't know who Duffy Hooks is, okay? Duffy Hooks was a record hustling dude that
probably got to get 2 minutes before my phone dies, Lonzo. So go ahead and finish the story up, and we'll probably have to wrap it up. Sorry, guys.
Okay, Duffy Hooks was a record hustler that knew how to make records, along with Cletus Anderson and Kelvin Anderson, the VIP. Cletus was the big brother. It was like watching American Gangster. Cletus was the big brother that owned the VIP records and brought all his brothers out of Mississippi and gave them all stores and put them in the record game and made their shit happen. And they just took over the shit, okay? And these guys, not only did they sell records, they made records, they bought records from me, they sold my records, and it just created an industry an independent industry that nobody else had, man. And only a young, ignorant motherfucker would say some shit like that. Only a new nig would say some shit like that. Only a new nig who don't know what the fuck he talking about would say some shit like that, okay? Because you ain't done your history, dude. Yeah, a lot of us didn't get paid like we should have, but we paved the way for y'all to get paid, okay? You wouldn't know how to pick up a box of records. You wouldn't know what it is to make labels. Me and Unknown and Cletus was talking last Wednesday, man, about how much fun it was just to make records, man. Just to make them. Just to go from the studio to the mastering house to the plating house, make the labels. It was a chore, man. It was something you was busy for about a week. Then you finally got called to get your test presses to make that shit make sure that shit sounded right. Then you put your order in, then you get your first piece of money, dude. It was an experience that y'all will never have, man. And I missed that shit. I mean, going to Simi Valley with a Suburban. I had a Suburban by then, a Suburban full of CDs, so big, so much. When I left the parking lot, my bumper was hitting the goddamn parking lot. But I could take them CDs to this agent, to this European, not Europe, Arab dude, and he would give me $15,000, $20,000 cash. Then one day he gave me a check. I ain't bullshit. One day he gave me a check, $15,000. I normally didn't take checks. Don't worry, don't worry. I called my bank. Go to my bank in Beverly Hills, and dude, I went to a bank in Beverly Hills. Okay, wasn't no damn sign on the door said bank. He said, go to the third floor, and I called him right now. Go, here's the address. Go there, and I'm sitting down, dude. There wasn't no glass windows, wasn't nothing. It was a desk. It was a private bank. I'm sitting in a chair. They gave me all kind of shit to drink and eat. He made the phone call. Are you Mr. Williams? Yes. Could you bring me your ID? And they started peeling me off, dude, at a bank that had, I've never seen before in my life, dude. So these are the kind of shit that I grew up that nobody, Dre don't know this shit. Cube don't know this shit. This is the kind of shit that I experienced as the Godfather. That's why I'm called the Godfather. I got stories and experiences that nobody else has in this game. And it goes back to 1976, dude.
Damn. Thank you, guys. I'm at 3%. Lonzo, it's always a pleasure, man. Going to wrap it up, and I'll see you guys all next week, man.
Much love, folks. I enjoyed this extra time. We got an extra 16 minutes today, y'all. Thank y'all for hanging with a brother. Thank you for hanging with me, Dusty. Charge your phone up next time. Now we get to have.
I know. I wasn't prepared, man.
I ain't mad, folks. In the meantime, for Lonzo, the Godfather, West Coast Hip Hop, and my man Dusty Vision, y'all. Check out Dusty's show. It's growing up. It's blowing up and getting better every day. Same here. Check out me and Dr. Dre, Legendary Connects. And from time to time, folks, you'll see me on my other channel, Compton Chronicles, folks. I'll bring you news and information straight from the city of Compton, because I am the president of the Compton Entertainment Chamber of Commerce, and that's my job. All right. In the meantime, folks, thank y'all for watching. See y'all. Peace.